Aven has launched the first ever mortgage rewards program, meaning every month that you pay your mortgage, a small percentage can come back to your pocket in the form of cash back. And not only does this card offer strong rewards for your mortgage and other expenses as well, but it also offers very low interest rates compared to other cards and high potential credit limits. So let's dive into the card, all of its new revamped features, and help you determine if it's going to be a good fit for you. I'd also like to thank Aven for sponsoring today's video, allowing me to talk about the good, the informational, and the not so good, as we'll wrap up toward the end when we talk about who this card product is actually for and for those who should avoid it. To begin here though, I gotta say that this is not your typical credit card, so let's set the stage with some foundational things that you need to be aware of in terms of how this product will actually function. The Aven card is a credit card that lets you use your home equity to access a credit line with low rates. In other words, it combines a credit card with a HELOC. And what is a HELOC? Well, it's a secured line of credit backed by your home. And to get one, you must have equity in your home, meaning the amount you owe on your home is less than the home's value. As an example of this, let's say the home's value is $350,000. You still own $92,000 on your loan. Therefore, your equity in that property would be $258,000, which naturally leads us to the qualification criteria for this card. First, yes, you must own a home. You must have equity in that home. You must also have verifiable income and a credit score of at least 640. I'll also have you know that this card is not necessarily available in all 50 United States at this time, as you can see here with some of the fine print. So you can go to the site here, aven.com/licenses, for more details to see if it's going to be available in the place where you live. A lot has changed about this product, especially with the reward side of things. So let's start to approach the newness of this card, first beginning here with the welcome offer, which unfortunately is not applicable at this time. However, this is not a product designed for a huge value up front with a bonus to get you on your way to Hawaii necessarily. Instead of that, there are a lot of other great redeeming qualities, beginning first here with the fact that there is a $0 annual fee. And it actually goes well beyond that too, because there's actually no origination fee, no appraisal fee, no notary fees, and no prepayment penalties either. Therefore, this might be a great card for you to keep open long term, especially given the new reward structure. For those of you who seek simplicity in a credit card product without having to worry about tons of fine print or activating or enrolling in certain things, a flat 2% is awesome. And perhaps the greatest part of the new reward structure here is the ability to earn 1% back on your mortgage payments. No doubt many of us have been eagerly and patiently waiting for a product like this. Here's how it works. You'll then earn that 1% each time a mortgage payment gets paid from your bank and recognized through the Aven platform. There is no need to pay with the Aven card. Now, to qualify to earn 1% back on your mortgage payments, you must meet the minimum spend requirement here, which is $4,000 or more in eligible purchases in the first 3 billing cycles. You'll earn at the 1% rate on up to $200 per year in reward earnings, and terms do apply to this. So see the link in the description to learn more. Now, as we start to look beyond this super innovative reward structure, there are also some great qualities of this card as well, especially here with the interest rates, and then following that, the credit line itself. When looking up the average credit card interest rate as of June 2024 from Forbes Advisor, it is at a shocking 27.7%. Brutal, but those are the times that we're living in right now. Fortunately, Aven has a much better solution to getting 27.7%. Right now, it can be as low as 7.49% up to 14.99% as a variable APR. Whatever rate that you may qualify for within that range, it will have a baked-in discount for autopay of 0.25%. You're not required to sign up for autopay, but for those of you who do decide to opt in, you will receive that discount. To make sure that you keep that discounted rate, simply make sure that you enroll by the end of your first billing cycle. And being able to access rates that are that much lower than the traditional average rate right now can be a huge advantage, primarily for those of you who have large expenses coming up, whether they're planned or unplanned. This could be home improvements or remodels, education expenses, unexpected expenses like, an emergency fund type of thing, new appliances, etc. Think about all the things that you would use a normal HELOC for, right? This is not necessarily to go to the supermarket and buy bread and eggs, rather larger expenses that you want want to finance over time and then be able to pay off completely in a safe and effective way. But what about the total credit card limit here for the full line of credit? Well, first of all, looking back at a Forbes article for the average credit card limit, this is going to be here in 2022. So a recent report by Experian showed that the average credit limit for Americans across all of their credit cards combined was around $28,930. Whereas the limits on individual cards can of course be all over the place, whether it's in the hundreds or thousands of dollars. With Aven, on the other hand, you can actually get up to $250,000 as I record this video. That may not be applicable to every single person. In the fine print, it does show a few states right now with a lower cap. So if you live in any of these areas, it's going to be up to $100,000. Still immensely useful. And I say that not only to those of you who do have a big home renovation project coming up, for example, but also to those of you who may just want to have a bid line that you don't need to use much of. That's because the more credit you have, but keeping your expenses the same, that can actually help lower your utilization ratio on your credit report, which can bump up your credit score. That's one of the bigger advantages of having large credit lines on your credit report. Perhaps equally as cool is that there's also a pre-qualification tool for the Aven card. So on their site here, you can actually check your offer without affecting your credit score. So before a hard pull actually occurs, you can just type in your mobile number, go through the prompts there, and see what type of offer they can give you. Another nice touch to that is that the process is extremely quick compared to a lot of other traditional HELOCs. All you've got to do is first check your offer by answering a few simple questions to quickly confirm your identity and your home. Then confirm your income by instantly verifying your bank account or your pay stubs, whatever one works best for you, and then schedule a digital signing process, which is actually pretty cool because they can seamlessly connect you with their notary to do all of this electronically. If you receive an offer you like, at that point you can then choose to accept or deny it. If you accept, then you'll have the full hard pull, and just like a regular card, that will then be reporting to your credit report. Finally, going back to a few other options that I hinted at earlier in the video, you have some additional options here, including balance transfers with this card, which could be a great use for it. That is, you can transfer higher interest debt from other credit cards that you have or personal loans that may be at a higher interest rate, especially right now. Bring those over to the Aven card for a one-time 2.5% fee. So if you were paying 18, 22, 24% on another credit card and Aven gave you, let's say 14%, you move the balance over, that can represent a great savings. Don't use it as a crutch to keep yourself in debt and justify being in debt longer than you need to. Rather, use the Aven card as an awesome tool to accelerate your debt payoff to become debt-free faster. As a second option, you can also cash out to your bank. That is, you get approved for your Aven line of credit, and then you deposit the cash from the Aven card to your bank account. This can be done in fixed monthly payments for 5 or 10 years via what they call their Aven Simple Loan. This one's also subject to the same 2.5% fee, which is one time. So despite the awesomeness of this card to now finally earn rewards on your monthly mortgage payments, also a few other expenses at 2% or better, plus low interest rates and high potential lines of credit, it is still not a product designed for everybody. Let's go over a few scenarios now. When talking about whether this card product is worth it for you, it may very likely be so if you are a homeowner with a stable financial position, and if you're already in the market for a HELOC. I put these 2 points here up front because they're absolutely critical to understand. Unlike a traditional unsecured normal credit card, this one's associated with your house. If you're going to default on these payments or you're at risk to do so, can they potentially come after your house? Yes. Is Aven in the business of taking people's homes away? No. In fact, pushing Aven out of the picture for a moment here, even a regular HELOC puts you at risk for losing your house if you're not going to be in a stable financial situation. If you default on a standard HELOC, yes, it's your house that is backing the loan as its form of collateral. So if you've got great financial habits in place, if you also have strong, steady income, and you're not worried about your financial picture because it's in a good spot, then this card can be a great fit for you as an awesome tool when used appropriately. Examples of that, as previously mentioned, would be large planned or unplanned expenses like the ones listed there on the screen. Also, this could be a good product to use to consolidate debt. For instance, if you want relief from higher APR products that you may have already to pay down debt faster. If you want a large credit line, this can potentially give that to you. And of course, if you want relatively quick access to funds. Many traditional HELOCs can take days or weeks to actually get through the entire process. So the fact that they've narrowed this down to just 15 minutes or so is actually remarkable. Having painted that picture, the flip side would then be this card would not be worth it for you if you don't own a home or don't have equity in that home, if you're not in a stable financial position, if you don't have a legitimate need or want for the card, if you can get better rates and or lower costs elsewhere, and if you do have a history of missing payments, defaulting on loans, or simply using credit cards irresponsibly. All that said, if you'd like to learn more about this card, check your pre-qualification offer, or even go ahead and apply for the Aven card, check out the link down below in the description. I'm happy to say that the days of more rewarding mortgages are finally here.